going on, everybody? This is an extension of the Free Gems Network, if you will.
Yeah.
Gumbosa here with my main man,
Marley Wolf, man. Wolf County, man. Y'all stand up, man. Stand up and go somewhere, man. Go somewhere. Call the can.
Yeah, look, man, we're just here to chop it up with my man, brother. You know what I'm saying? We really haven't had an extensive conversation on camera. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. You haven't done that. As much as we talk too much. It's never been captured on film before, man. It really hasn't, but you know.
It's the first time for everything.
There you go.
It's my first personal interview, I guess. Yeah, man. We here at Peter Street Filling Station. Good day. How you doing? Got good people walking in the back, good workers. You know what I'm saying? Sipping on good tequila, having a great time on a rainy day.
Yes, sir.
So, man, Marley, man, tell the people where you're from.
I am from Wolf County, by way of Southwest Atlanta. From Southwest, yeah. Right in that little niche, right before you get to like East Point. You know what I'm saying? That area, I'm right before the city limits. So, you know, I'm barely from Atlanta, I guess you would say.
Right.
But I wouldn't say that I'm from Southwest Atlanta. I'm not from East Point. I'm from Atlanta for real. Shout out to East Point though. Shout out to the homies at East Point though, real talk.
Man, tell people how you get started in music, man. Tell the people your backstory,
man. My music career it started before I got here, before I even was born, man. My parents were musicians, so it's like I'm not gonna say I didn't have a choice, but man, you bred to do stuff. Sometimes you bred to do things, and like, you know, my dad's he plays an instrument, he plays instruments. My mom sings.
Multiple.
You know what I mean? He know, they like his uncle and auntie, you know. But they play all kind of stuff, and music has always been omnipresent in my life. So, you know, I developed more than one skill set, and then it ended up being music being one of them. So, you know, it was like from birth basically.
Yeah, so what was the first record you remember hearing? Cause mine's personally, my mom's told me it was Tennessee.
By Arrested Development.
Yeah. So what was your first record? The Kind of Blue album from Miles Davis was my favorite album for what I was told when I was younger, because I don't remember, of course, but when I was in Pampers, the folklore is, when I was in Pampers, Miles Davis' Kind of Blue was an album that just stuck out to me. And my dad would play it a lot, and to this day we still kind of vibe out to it. But that was the first slice of music I heard that stuck to me. Like initially I heard that, and then I got a little older. My dad started playing Love Jones soundtrack. All those songs stick to me. I didn't know they were on that soundtrack till I got older and realized all those songs came from the same project. I just kept hearing them in different sequences. And I'm like, damn, like when I got older, I watched Love Jones with my girls. I'm like, oh, all these songs I grew up on were from the same soundtrack. So I would say the Miles Davis Kind of Blue album, like the actual vinyl, and the Love Jones soundtrack, my first pieces of music I can like remember from like being a child, like growing up. That's the first thing. So tell me, what do you think it was about Kind of Blue? Like that's a very like, cause that's also one of my one of my favorite Miles Davis projects. So what is about jazz? I think it's very weird that people who are into music, you're into like jazz, R&B first, and then somehow you form into rap music. What is it about Miles Davis that like?
Well, I'll tell you one thing, bro. That process you just painted, that's true. Like a lot of people, I never thought about that before. And you're right. People kind of go from like jazz and then R&B is like a tangent, you know what I mean? And then you kind of get into rap through like happenstance. But the reason why I guess I like it so much because I did jazz. And then it was reggae. Reggae was the notch in the process that's different from everybody else's. Reggae became like big, and then Prince and Michael Jackson. So my path is a little different because reggae is that's like that's the taboo part. But for jazz, it's the dynamics, bro. You got to think. Most times it's a very small ensemble. You know, it's a drummer with brushes, and then you got some brass instrument and a standing bass and a piano, and that's usually it.
But we're about six people?
Yeah, maybe
roughly?
six. Maybe six if you're doing more than one brass instrument, but it's the energy in that they find a pocket and they and they kind of manipulate every corner of that room that they're in. It's like whatever room they set up those instruments, they exhaust all the options. Like you go from your free form to your stuff that's rehearsed, and it's all improv. Like those different genres, they are finding every nook and cranny in that room that they build. And by room, I mean those musicians together build a vibe, they build an energy, and they exploit it in all types of ways, but it doesn't go outside of the room. It's like a conundrum. It's like they don't go outside of the space they build, but they exhaust all of it. I think that's why I like it, because it's simple, but it's still so dynamic for it to be 4 or 5 people. Like most times you need 4 or 5 string instruments, 3 or 4 brass instruments, a drummer with a Congo drummer to the side, and a keyboard. Nowadays you need all that when you're doing a live interpretation of a studio track. But with jazz, it's like it's the minimum.
It's bare bones.
It's bare bones, man.
Like,
and it's 100% skill. There's nothing
feeling.
to save you with jazz. It sounds that good because they are that good, and I think that's what me being a musician myself. I respect that before I even liked the music.
Yeah.
I think when I got older, I had a new appreciation for Miles because I was so used to just liking what it sounded like. Once I developed a skill set for an instrument of my own, then respect came. At first it was just like admiration because it sounds so great and I can feel it, that's cool.
Yeah.
But then once I learned about the idea of learning and perfecting the instrument, I'm like, nah, this is something different. It's something different, yeah. So I think that's what it is. Just be able to exploit that pocket with so little resources, you know what I mean? That part tears me up. I love that part. Yeah.
Man, so like, so now we're gonna go into the next part. Is man, what got you singing, bro? Like, what got you harmonizing, my nigga? Like, what got you hitting the runs that you be hitting, bro? Like, what's the inspiration? We know you can sing. Like, singing is something you kind of just. I feel like, and personally, you can train for it. Shout out to Diddy.
Yeah, I know.
But what's going on? But it's like I said, you can harmonize, you can learn to sing like a Drake.
For sure.
Like a Diddy.
No, for real.
But when you come out of the womb with that vocal ability, like what inspires you to go beyond? Okay, what inspires you to go beyond what your voice can do naturally?
Just curiosity. I wonder if I can. That's all it is. Like, you gotta think. I'm classically trained first, so I was taught the fundamentals. Like, basically taught me if you do these things on this list, everybody will consider you a good singer. So that's before I developed my own identity or anything like that. It just was like, nah, if you check this list off, everybody that hears you is gonna say you can sing. You know, so I did that for a majority of my life, and then I started messing around with, R&B and soul when I got almost a teenager, bro. So by the time I heard it, I was already kind of like exercising my voice. I just didn't know what my voice was for. I was doing operas and sonatas. I didn't do no R&B and no souls. I was like 14, 15 years old. I was singing in 3-4 different languages by the time I was like 14 years old. So it's like I was doing straight classical. And then I heard I heard Thriller again. And Thriller, I was like, wait a minute. The first time I heard this album, it didn't sound as good. What changed? My ear for music changed. Yeah,
you changed.
So like, damn, this album is crazy.
And that's the same for me and Prince. Because I took this time. I didn't really start loving Prince until I started fucking. Like just to be completely, just to keep it 1,000. Like until I started to really like be like, oh, okay, I see what the energy is behind it.
Right.
Like that. This is what it is. This is what it ain't.
I feel that though, because I think I didn't appreciate. Now these are two different artists, but just speaking of parallels. I didn't start appreciating Future, so I started going out to like clubs and shit.
That's
and
what I
then
love.
Future hits. It hit different after that.
Same. Like that Dirty Sprite tape, it hit same. I was in college. I started going places.
Yeah. Once I went out with started hanging out with my brother and going places and shit, and I started hearing Future. Then I'm like, no, this nigga is fire for real.
Like this
what it's for.
Yeah.
Then I got me a nice car. I'm like, oh, it working here too. You know what I mean? Just like when I was smoking, is when I found Currency. So I'm like, oh, that's why this makes so much sense. It's made for this. When I used to ride around Columbus smoking with my friends, I'm like, oh, this makes all the sense in the world. You know what I mean? But when I heard it before then, it's like, no, brother, rap, that's what's up. I didn't understand how cool and like player his shit was until I, you know what I'm saying, I walked a mile in his high ass shoes. I'm like, oh, this shit is a whole lot colder. Now since then I've stopped smoking a long time ago, but I understand why his shit's so fire, and that's why I'm still like one of his biggest fans. I'm not a fan of a lot of people, I'm a fan of his. He's dope.
You get it, you understand.
I get it, yeah. It's a correlation, it's parallels, you know what I mean? So I definitely, I learned that, you know, different music has different arenas it's supposed to live in. Whether it be you cleaning up around the house on Saturday morning, or you blasting Isley Brothers, you know what I mean? Or if it's like you riding around the city, you listen to, you know what I'm saying, Larry June. Or if you at the crib on the front porch at night and it's just you and a cigar and a glass of drink and you listen to Bon Iver. It's like, I'm learning now different sounds have different seasons. And I feel like with me, the music I make, personally, I feel like the most of what I make is for the fall, for the winter time. That's why I don't really worry about the summer. Like, I love the summertime, but the music I make ain't made for that. You know what I mean?
So how important is environment to music making? Like when you come to when it comes to really sitting down, making a song, making a record, do you even purposely make songs for, like you said, for a season, or that's just something that you just subconsciously do?
It's never on purpose, bro. Like I never go into the studio saying I'm gonna make a song for this arena. Yeah. I go in saying I'm gonna try to make the best song I can make with the resources I have. Yeah, I do say that. Yeah. And you know, I've been in situations where I might just play the lead on the beat. We make a beat from scratch. I might just play the lead on the beat, just like the synth lead, and that might be all I do. I just want the song to be good.
Exactly, bro. And that's really all that. That's really all that. I had to make sure we had time on the camera. That's all that really matters, bro.
Yeah, like, that's it, man. I just want the song to be good. But that's why I'm glad. That's why I'm glad I don't rap. Like, rappers have to worry about like, nigga, you ain't the lyricist if you don't write your own shit. Now don't get me wrong, y'all. He'll tell you, I write my own shit. Look, so I guess what I'm saying is kind of like whatever, but I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. For
two reasons. So for one, I do write my own stuff, and for two, I'm not a rapper. R&B is not competitive like that, G. It's different. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not trying to out-sing nobody. Even if it was competitive, I don't do that no more, man. I used to play sports. I know about the competition. I don't care no more, man. I'm not trying to outdo nobody, man. I'm just trying to make money.
A spot.
That's it. Make money and find a spot and get paid to do what I do for free already. Like, I do it as a hobby, so why not get paid for it? You see what I'm saying? I don't really worry about the other part.
And
I mean, it's different, bro.
Like, what's going on, though?
It's something different, bro.
And the funny part is speaking about playing your role, which is kind of relates back to sports, because I ain't gonna lie, in every arena you're gonna have your stars and you're gonna have your great role players. I put it like this: for every LeBron James, there has to be, per se, a Richard Jefferson or a Channing Frye, or it's got to be a J.R. Smith. Like, you got to know what your role is. Do I know how to play it? Am I a superstar? Am I a role player? Because there's money in all of that.
Yeah.
There's a way to make a living in all of that. Ego.
You know what kills that? See, that's why I mean you cool like that. See, it's pride and ego, bro. I learned early. I want to say it's taught to me. I don't know how I figured it out, but I want to say it was taught to me. But pride gets you killed, bro.
Yeah.
And I mean it literally and figuratively. Like, it gets you killed. Like, it'll X you out of a position you could be in, or it'll literally have you getting shot because you just didn't want to walk away type shit. Like, you got a man can find peace very quickly if he learns how to check his ego, bro.
Yep.
You should never step into any room with like-minded individuals with an ego, bro, because you shouldn't go in and think you're competing off top. Like, that's dangerous.
Yep.
Especially if they not even worried about competing with you. Now you just look stupid. You know what I mean? Like, ain't no point in doing that. Yeah,
you like a dickhead.
Like a dickhead, bro. You don't want to be a head of a dick, bro. It's never you want to.
So a lot that goes into that.
Yeah. But
they get hit first, all that type of shit, man.
Every time, G. Like, every time. But it's pride and ego is, and they're kind of one of the same, depending on who you're talking to, but they cause, off the top of my head, 85, 90% of the problems that men deal with, and women too. Women got them too. It's just they don't speak about it. But
it's a different type of.
It's a different type. Yeah.
It's
a different type. But you know, if you can control it, you're a dangerous person in a good way. You can control your ego. You know what I mean? That's what I try my best to do, man. Like, if all I'm doing on the song is background vocals, if that's for the betterment of the song, that's what I'm about to do. If I need to do ad-libs or play the piano roll or whatever, and that's all I'm doing for the betterment of the song, I'm cool with that. If the song comes out dope, it's okay to be a part of something great if you got a small role. It's not what it's about. Small role, a big role. You know what I'm saying? Kickers for the NFL get paid a fair amount of money. They don't get a lot of love, but they are very important. If you ain't had one, then it'd be a different. They essential workers. You know what I mean?
Like, I pull up this like you know that your kicker fucking up when he missing shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like because we don't realize how much them inches. Like shout out to that's one of my favorite scenes from Any Given Sunday.
Right.
It's a game of inches, bro.
It is,
like
bro.
That 1 or 2 points, that 1 or 2 things you could have did. Like you could have just played the back and got yourself an extra 500 racks.
Right. And if you
just wanted to,
and if you can compartmentalize it that way, day to day, like in regular life, it'll save you a lot of energy and time too, bro. Like, you know, we feel like we got so much time here, man, but it's numbered, bro. Like, so you gotta conserve it. Like, where I'm at mentally now, I don't really care to like. People got a stigma about me that I just don't give a fuck about stuff. And it's not that. It's just like
you reserve it, folks.
I do reserve I don't have a lot of fucks to give. You know what I mean? To just to touch on that metaphor, but in the grand scheme of things, a lot of this stuff that we did was not important. It's not.
It's not.
We deem it to be that way because we feel like we should think it's important. But in your heart of hearts, you realize like if I didn't have to worry about this, I wouldn't. So whatever that is, if it's something that I could consider, I should take this serious because I feel like I should. If it goes in that category, I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna worry about it. I worry about my art and my family.
What you got?
The money that comes from the art gonna breed the money that's gonna take care of my family. That's the trinity for me. Like if it ain't that, I probably ain't gonna trip on it, bro. I might not know what's going on. Don't ask me about the latest news and latest posts and shit. I probably don't know. You can ask everybody that know me. I'll be like, I do not know what you're talking about. I'm not trying to. And people who, I've been called aloof and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't that. It just I'm focused on what I got going on. I'm not where I want to be at, so I should be honed in. You know what I mean? So what this random person is doing over here in another state, another time zone, that can't influence me unless it's political. You know what I mean? It can't influence me. They're not passing bills or passing legislature. He bought a car that got wrecked. That's all right, bro.
Okay, you spent $300,000 on a car.
Up.
That's very nice.
That's what's up. Yeah.
I'm thankful that you're able to do that.
That's hard, but hey, bro, turn the beat back on.
But what they got, at the end of the day, what they got to do, people don't understand. It's like too, what does one have to do with the other?
Right.
Because my whole thing is, if your whole thing is getting into music is to flex, you have an Elon Musk that's gonna flex on your whole life. It's always about levels.
You gonna lose that game.
You feel what I'm saying? It's
lose that game, yeah.
But it's like, what can you do? Like at the end of the day, music is about being the best person you can be, and that's how you really truly. And this is just from my personal experience. It's like the better you become, the better you get at the arts or whatever artistic endeavor that you choose to do. Whether that be making beats or whether that be, I'm gonna just be really cool at carpentry. That shit is an art too.
Yeah, Jesus did it.
Feel what I'm saying? Look. So what's the time where you? Because I know we've all been young and stupid at one point. What's one point where you're like, let me check my ego? Like what was your moment of like my moment? I could say, I was 16. I was talking shit back and forth to my mom and them. My uncle came and had me like this in the front yard, like this. That was my come to Jesus moment. He hit me up like this. I was like this.
No.
I was like this, but he had to do me like that. So what was your metaphorical hemmed up moment where you had to check your ego and be like, oh, it's not the way to do it?
I've never talked about this ever before, like ever in life. Like literally never talked about this ever to anybody. But when I got to high school, I never talked about this. It's funny. When I got to high school, I had played travel baseball that whole time, and I was competing for spots on that team. And sometimes I would start, sometimes I wouldn't. When I got to high school, I thought I was big fish, bro. Cause the competition I was used to dealing with, I'm like, bro, these niggas can't be better than what I was dealing with at Cascade, bro. Ain't no way in hell.
Ain't no way.
So I came in freshman year feeling like I was, you know what I'm saying, I was the shit and then some. And I got benched for like the first half of that season. You know what I'm saying? And the guy who was in front of me, he was legit, you know what I mean? It wasn't like it was some type of hating or some kind of shit going on. I think brothers beat me for that spot. But before I got there, I felt like the environment I came from, I was competing back and forth with the people, with my traveling team. Everybody on my team was good then. So I got the high school saying shit. I know how the level of competition will change based on where you are. We all come from different areas. A lot of these niggas ain't gonna play as good as me because they didn't grow up competing like I did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? The actions after that, they shut my fucking mouth, you know what I mean? And I learned to check my ego that quick, bro. Like I really was like, nah, let's just go into it with an open mind and just see what happens. It's like even now, you'll never hear me say I'm better than. I don't even think about that kind of shit. I just enjoy the action of doing it. I'm not trying to outdo nobody now because that was the last time I felt like I needed to talk my shit and then I got put in my place, bro. You know what I'm saying? It happened then and I've been humble. I've always been a humble person. My confidence was on 1,000 at the time. I ain't gonna say I was just like bragging and shit.
Yeah,
just like
you
I was very much so aware of like, yeah, this is I earned right to feel this way. I'm nice with this shit. Can't nobody turn double play like me, you know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying, that shit got shut up real quick. You know what I mean? So I think that was my coming to the light moment, you know what I mean? So that's pretty much it, man.
Yeah, man, this is this type of thing you won't get, man. So another question I want to ask you, I guess not to fast forward, but how does it feel coming from underrated? I mean, we're all underrated in our own way. We all feel like we're, not where we're supposed to be at. But, when it comes to the Sony situation, if you even care to talk about that, like when it comes to that, how did it feel knowing that, and coming from, and I've known you forever, so it's like coming from label meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting to finally getting to what you feel like you really wanted. Like, what are some of the steps in that where you just had to like, okay, I think I want a record deal, then no, maybe I want distribution, maybe I want this. Like, what is, like, as an artist who's been doing this far longer than a lot of us been doing it, like what are some of the things that you think about when it comes to what you want as an artist, what you need? I
think that list of wants and needs literally changes based on the successes you had before you get there. If that makes any sense.
No,
that makes any sense. Like, your list of your wants and your needs, your desires, so to speak, it changes based on the successes you had before you get to that point. So, like, my list of desires were different before I started getting paid to perform. When I started getting paid to perform, I realized, well, if I can do this kind of shit, like, X amount of times a week, and start doing the math, like, well, maybe I don't need what I thought I needed. The list changes based on education of what you're doing. The more you know about what you're getting into, the more solid your list becomes. Like, you can say some shit like, well, maybe I thought I needed a record label. Really all I need is 10 grand. So you don't need nobody to back you and take percentages off of what you're doing on your own, not with them. And they taking out your pot. You really need a lump sum of money right quick because your plan is installed. Before you got your plan, you saying, I just need some help. But when you finally set your ass down and devise the plan of your own, and you checked you cross your T's and dot your I's, you say, well, maybe I don't need a label, maybe I just need somebody to give me a little push, a little money to help me out with it. It changes. The more you learn about the field you in, the less equipment you're gonna need. You know what I mean? If you know for a fact all you gonna do is kick the ball, you're not finna spend time in practice trying to tackle niggas, bro. Like, you ain't gonna do
like,
that.
That's not, that doesn't, like, what
you kick the field goals, you ain't gotta tackle, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta tackle. So, like, learn about the pool you swimming in. If you're gonna swim in that pool, you need to look like what's in it. It might be a shark in there. I don't know why it'd be a shark in the pool, but it might be a shark in there.
And then it's different type of sharks. It's different type of sharks.
You got bull sharks, you got makos, you got
hammerheads, you got great whites. Like, it's all,
man.
And those are different beasts in itself. Like, and that's when we said that. That's what I think
that's what it is, dog. Like, I'm all about researching because I don't trust people enough to let them do it for me if I ain't got to.
Yeah.
So the more I research, the more I learn. Like, man, a lot of the shit I feel like I needed is just because I didn't know how to do it myself. And then you think as an artist, you gotta, I ain't got time. Yeah, you do. You might be tired when you get done. You got time though. Like, Because I'm a control freak personally, so it's like
same. That's why we get along.
If I can do it myself, I'm gonna do it myself. Not because I think I do it better than other people. It's like I don't trust you, nigga. Like,
yeah, like
if you're not fam, I got a hard time trusting you because I'm just paranoid. Like I done been through some shit mentally. And like, nah, they got. It's hard to prove that I can trust you. I'm gonna respect you now.
It's a very
as far as like bestowing a certain task upon you that's gonna like dictate part of how my career goes. That's different.
Yeah, I don't know, Tim. I don't know if I can let you
start talking about money and shit. Like, nah, man, I put up at your house at 4 in the morning, bro. Like, what the fuck you sleep for?
But yeah, no,
I'm missing $5, bro. What's happening? What's going on? Like, I'm one of them. So I try to navigate through the knowledge I gain. The more you learn, the more you should be sure of yourself. And you better break down that list like this is what I need and don't need. You know what I mean? And I think that's the key, bro. Like learn about what you're dealing with. If you get hustled or get finessed, it's always your fault. You should have knew better.
Yeah.
Because the information's out there. It ain't like they hide.
All right. Okay. So all right. So let's now that we're here and to know, how do you feel about the Joyner Lucas Karen Silver situation?
What I did tell you. What I did tell you. You should know better. She has a rep for doing good business as far as I know. Until this happened, I ain't heard nothing bad about Karen.
Same. This is not either one. It's not Joyner or Karen.
I'll be honest with you.
We just speaking on it.
I only heard what came from my sport page, bro. Cause I don't know what I worry about. What I got going on. Me and my people. Like I know what he got going on. It's my brother. I know what he got going on. I know what I got going on. That shit flashed up on my sport page more than once. I kept seeing different captions on the shit. So I'm like, cool, okay. Well, she done hit bro with the bullshit. If that's the case, based on what I've seen, bro gave her X amount of money, and she did what she wasn't supposed to do with it. You know what I mean? To be PC about it. But I always say, you can always gauge and learn, bro, and figure it out. You know what I mean? Unless he was the first person she ever fucked over. If it's something like that, then he can't see it coming.
Yeah, you can't.
If she been doing it right this whole time, then history gonna show you she trustworthy. And then she finally go left on you, you can't see that coming.
Yeah,
I get that.
That's outside of
with
what
that being said.
perceived.
With that being said, in the industry, I doubt that. That's all I'm saying.
And well, just to pivot off that shit, how do you feel like when it comes to marketing? Do you feel like it's better to do yourself? Because you know, like, do you feel like as artists we always know our market and what we got going on? Excuse the look backs and things like that. You know what I'm saying? We in a live location right now. You know what I'm saying? Kind of, you know.
Yeah, but nah, man. I think as far as your promotion and your marketing, you should try to be as hands-on as possible.
Yeah.
Only because this is the part that people miss. You have an idea of how you want to be perceived and marketed, right? But that may not always. The company, all that could be there, bro.
Okay.
But think about this. You can have an idea of what you think will work for you, right? Mm-hmm. But a professional who watching the climate day to day, they saying, bro, that'll work if you tweak it like this. They're not shooting your idea down. They just saying, you have an idea of how you want to be marketed, how you want to be pushed. That's based on your ego and your pride. You see what I'm saying? But it takes an intel, like somebody with real intel. Like I watch the market every day. You just know how you want to be seen. Okay, cool.
This is my job.
A conversation has to be had. It has to be compromised. You got to trust that person. You know what I mean? Like now, promotion and marketing is it's important because you talking about how people gonna see you.
Yeah.
Once you get out there, it's gonna stay that way until you spend too much money trying to change it. You know what I mean?
That's it.
You gotta understand this is how you want to be perceived based on the marketing. But at the same time, it has to be this person's professional. So take the advice from them too.
Yeah. It
should be like 80% your idea, 20% of theirs. Cause they gonna say, you wanna be seen like this? Okay, cool. I'ma bottle that the best way I can.
Yeah.
We don't know how to bottle this shit, bro. ain't what we do.
We think we do.
Yeah, we think we do. We don't know.
We like.
Yeah, we don't know.
We really think we do, but it takes that outside.
Mm-hmm.
It takes that outside brain to look at, and sometimes it takes a non-artistic brain to really understand. Like,
sometimes you kind of need that business side. Like, nah, bro. Like, I don't even know about the art part, but I know if you do this, then these numbers gonna come back like that. You need that too.
Yeah.
You get 80% creativity, and 20% of that real like numbers and like, what's it?
Analytics.
Quantitative.
Yeah, quantitative.
Analytics, shit like that. You need that too. That's good balance. Nothing wrong with that.
Ain't that good?
Nothing wrong with that shit, man. My other brother called me. I called me back in a minute. Shout out to Quiz. Just looking like
shout out Quiz. Let's see what boy.
Yeah, looking like the original man. Looking like the goddamn Black Jesus, man.
My boy, look, Quiz.
Jesus.
Quiz is who I model. Like whenever I think of the first people.
Yeah, man.
For some odd reason, Quiz always pops up in my brain.
Skin of bronze
I don't know why.
He is the original
That
man.
my boy Tay from
Beard,
my boy Tay from Columbus. Those are the two people I think of when it's like, yeah, man, beard, locks, free.
So let me ask you something, bro. You've been asking me questions this whole time.
Oh shit. Oh.
Yeah, I can interview a little bit too. So you multifaceted. You know what I mean? Which is a skill set itself. Which would you prefer to take off first? Would it be your videography and photography, or would it be your interviewing and like the commentary type content, or would it be your music? You rap like hell too.
I'm not gonna lie.
Y'all go Gumbosa shit too. Shit hard for them.
Hey man, black people.
All three platforms. Black people can't swim. I can't, but most of them can.
I can't either. That's why I kind of had to do it. But when it comes to damn. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now, I'm gonna give you a multifaceted answer. My ego would want music to be first because at the end of the day, I know how universal music is, and I know it speaks a certain language, and it's gonna do nothing but bring back into what I actually want to do, which is because what people gotta understand is music wasn't like a cop out. It wasn't like, oh, I can't do photography no more. I can't. Let me try to go over here. No, I've always loved it, always enjoyed it, but I just kind of understand my role. Even my role as an artist is more so, the reason why I'm putting myself out there so much is because I want to songwrite for other people. I want to be able to help people push what they got going on.
Didn't know that, okay.
And then but like I said, with music, it brings you a certain level of attention that, like I said, when it comes to my videography, my photography, I'm able to push that with that. It's more so like, you know, it's like going to Walmart, bro, and you got different aisles for shit. You want to go over here and get your film developed in the back, you got that whole section. But if you want to go over here to the magazine book section and get you something to eat on, you feel what I'm saying? That's what it is. Because I view myself as, because when I think about the 7 streams of income, all of my income, at least 3 or 4 of them is creative based. Because I feel like that in itself, and this is just from conversations I've had with you, with other people. If people tell me all the time, like, yo, just put your personality out there. Like, you're an interesting nigga, bro. Like, you're an interesting person. You dress cool or whatever. It's like whatever, you know, people see about me.
But let's expound on that though. Like, you were saying, like, you said that 7 streams of income. Mm-hmm. You said how many of yours is creative?
At least 3 to 4.
3 to 4, right? So you're gonna say 3 of them just for the sake of conversation. That's almost half. A little less than half.
I will say 3.5.
Right, so a little 3.5.
Little one. You know, so little KD.
Yeah, little KD. So, does that make you anxious, knowing that 3.5% of your possible revenue is going to be based on like opinionated demands? You know what I mean? Like they only like it because they just like it at the time, and they might hate it tomorrow.
Yes.
Does that give you some kind of anxiety?
Yeah. That's why I'm in a
put my eggs in them baskets. That basket might just disappear.
That's why I'm in a constant state of creation. That's why I've been dropping tapes every month, because I know how I am. And that's the thing. We go back to the marketing. I know you. I know me, but I also accept when people be like, "Hey, bro, I think you should kind of do." Because I feel like I don't make one type of record. Like I love all aspects.
It's dynamics in your sound, bro. Like, I can't. When you tell me, "Hey, bro, I just finished this shit. Check this out," I don't know what I'm about to hear. And that's a good thing.
And that's a beauty. It's a beauty in that. Like
the name of the game is, if you are an artist who has that attribute, you got to come in the game like that. And now I'm not saying like I know I'm not a guru, bro, but I'm not a guru, bro. I'm just saying what I've seen personally. If
Hey, they get smart now. They get smart.
No, I'm not the dumb. I'm not the dumbest in the world. No, I'm not. But I'm not smarter in the world. I just listen to people who tell me. But if you the type of artist that's multifaceted, there's dynamics to your creativity, which like you might feel this way, so it sounds this way. You might feel that way, so it sounds that way. You don't have a centralized. You don't have a box or a small box or a low ceiling. If you're that kind of artist, you need to bring yourself out as such. Don't sit around and you know
try to
say I know this song work for the radio, so I'm gonna do 2 of these songs. Okay, you pigeonhole yourself now. Mm-hmm. Just say the 2 songs go crazy. That 3rd song gotta sound like what? The first 2. Now you don't really feel like the first 2 songs was, but you know the money gonna be there, so you gonna bite down and put out the same sound again, chasing the cheese. You don't believe it this time internally. So the audience ain't gonna resonate with it because it's not authentic.
You don't believe it. And think about just being in the artist space, in the rap space, in the music space, and even I ain't gonna lie, even coming from photography, if you don't really believe in yourself, who else is going to?
Right.
Like if you don't come out and say, yo, I'm that nigga, I'm the shit, yo, like, but you have to back it up too now. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, you have to back it up, but it's kind of that weird. So and this is, I guess, flipping back on you. Where do you find that line between like I'm dope, but I also need to be humble? Like, what are those moments for you when you're like, I need to pop my shit, but I also need to sit back? Like,
well, it's cut and dry for me, bro. Mm-hmm. I think I'm dope, so I'm not worried about the rest of it. And it's not like, now you could ask, bro, I'll never just say that.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? Confidence is internally understanding. You know what I'm saying? Arrogance is like based in the other person's insecurity. It's not even you when it comes to arrogance. If somebody calls me arrogant, that means there's something going on with them. Yeah. If you say, hey Marley, can you sing? I say, hell yeah. That's not arrogant. That's you ask me a question, I answered it. But if you are insecure about some shit within yourself, you would look at me like I'm bragging. No, you asked me a question, I answered it. Okay. Simple. Arrogance is kind of gray area. Cockiness is bragging about what you're doing. I'm confident. I think I'm a pretty good goddamn singer. I don't think I'm the best in the world, though. I think I'm pretty goddamn good.
I vote for pretty goddamn good.
Yeah, I'm pretty
that's my vote.
Yeah, I'm pretty goddamn good.
That's my vote. That's my vote.
I've been saying since I was 5. I've been trained since I was 5. So I don't feel arrogant or cocky saying that I should be this good by now because I've been trained by professionals since I was 5, 6 years old. So I'm pretty good, but ain't no line for me, bro. It's just like I think I'm pretty good at what I do, and that opinion is the only opinion that matters to me. So anybody who knows me know I take compliments and insults the same way. You can say, damn, bro, you fire as hell. I'm like, appreciate it, man. They might say, damn, bro, you suck tonight. I might say, appreciate it, man. Because you took the time to think about me. I'm flattered.
Yeah, to even like...
Whether you think good or bad, you thought about me. You could have just ignored me. That would have hurt me a little bit. But if you just thought about me at all, because I was on that damn stage trying to give y'all something, if you were cool enough to say that shit was cool, that shit was trash, you thought about it, bro. So I did my job. Like, I'm cool with that. Because I don't really, at the end of the day, when I get out the shower and wipe the fucking water off the mirror, I don't see y'all, I see me. If I'm cool with what I did and y'all ain't cool with it, well, maybe what I'm doing ain't for y'all. That's okay.
Yeah, everything's not for everybody.
Hey, man.
Everything is not for everybody, bro. Like that, and that's. So how hard is it to accept that fact, though? When it comes to like, how hard is it to really like come to true terms? 'Cause a lot of people can say, yeah, I'm good with either way, but when you go home, you throwing shit. What is it like? What makes you calm? Like, what makes you be okay with whatever happens?
Self-awareness, being real with yourself. I know you gotta think. I do music, right? That's true. I was a consumer of music before I was a creator. So I know what a good voice is. I know what a good voice is, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I know what a good song is.
I know the standard, you know what I mean? I know the standard for good songwriting, good beats, good mixing, good voice, good cadence, good rhythm. I know the
a little bit of that conversation due to the battery. Mm-hmm. But just being, I don't know, man, just being like, I don't know, just being in being involved in the process, I guess, being truly in, I guess, divulging yourself in what it is really to be an artist. Like, so as we start wrapping up here, like I said, we came back. I don't know how much of that we missed. Don't really give a damn. Slick though.
There's something in there. Don't worry about it.
Look, bro, look. Like I said, this is my man's right here. You know what I'm saying? If anything, fucking do another one on the porch at the crib. Who gives
It's coming.
a flying?
It's coming. We do the same shit. We get to the spot.
You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
give a shit. But yeah, man. I will say, as an artist, we all fight idealism versus realism, and we fight that every day. And it's a fight that we can't convey to other people that don't fight the same fight. Like, if you're not an artist, you can't understand what I deal with as far as trying to find my place between idealism and realism. Yeah. Ideally, I think my music is made for this platform, whatever. Realistically, I'm not out there yet, so it don't even fucking matter. You know what I mean? So you find that balance, and that balance breeds anxiety from most artists. Now I'm telling you, I know most artists won't say it, they too busy trying to be gangsters. I ain't worried about all that. You try to find your balance between ideally, this is what I want, realistically, this is what's going on. And wherever you sit at, then the goal is to find your notch, your little nook in that whole little line, and you try to move the scale the way you want to move. But you got to figure out where you are first. You can't move it before you figure out where you at. So that's the whole thing, bro. That's all it is, bro. Figure out where you are. You got to figure out where you are on the food chain if you try to figure some shit out. You know what I'm saying? The hierarchy is a hierarchy here, especially we in Atlanta, bro. It's a hierarchy. We know who the big fish are in Atlanta. Yeah. And
we know how they move. We know how they, you know what I'm saying?
And they make waves when they move, bro. Like, and that's how it's supposed to be. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. But once you figure out where you are on that hierarchy, bro, now you know where to set up shop in the move. You can't set up a foundation if you don't know you on the ocean. How you gonna set up a foundation? You don't know where you at. Figure out where you at first before you lay them bricks down. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, it was funny. Well, that man. So look, with that being said, bro, it's Gumbosa, you heard me? And it's Marley Wolf from, Wolf County. And my cup's empty, so I'm finna re-up. His is too. You know what I mean? So we're gonna tune back in with y'all for sure. We're gonna start doing this shit like at least twice a month. Yeah. Just touch bases with y'all.
Like I said,
if you got anything you want to say, any comments y'all got,
comment below.
Any questions for sure. Questions
below.
Yeah.
Let us know what's up.
So we could talk for days. So it's just like
literally.
Yeah, like literally. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna start doing these soon. This is the first one. It happened. It was too easy because this is my brother, so it's nothing like just talking to my family. But we're gonna try to tackle issues. We gonna speak on what the indie up and coming artists are dealing with. You know what I mean? Whether it be label disputes and label questions, or maybe moving through the chitlin circuit or promoting and marketing. Like, we doing it with y'all. We just gonna tell y'all when we bump our head, and we gonna tell y'all when we win. You know what I mean? So y'all tune in, bro. I gotta fill my cup. Like,
look,
nigga,
my shit, we out,
bro. God damn. God damn.